Rise and Shine Rwanda, it's Friday the 3rd of April.
Coming up on today's Weekly Review Show.
All about Rwandan women, we celebrated what has become a worldwide example.
Fidelis explored an organization promoting cross-border trading.
Arnold had a candid chat with a sports legend.
And from Belgium to Kigali, we visited the newest restaurant in Port. Good morning and welcome to our weekly review show where we take you back through the best of the week here on Rise and Shine. It's just gone 7 o'clock in the morning and my name is Makeda Mahadio.
And I'm Regis Isheja. Over the next hour, we'll be bringing you a review of this week's top stories, analysis, debate, and insights into the stories making headlines here in Rwanda and across the world. The Rise and Shine crew have throughout the week been diligently gathering and preparing everything you need to know about what's happening here in Rwanda and around the world. Well, it's been a busy week for us here at the Rise and Shine headquarters. One of the most interesting stories that we reported on this week was the important role women play in our society. Whether it be occupying strategic leadership positions, both in the public and the private sector, or contributing greatly to civil society organizations, women are truly the backbone of the Rwandan society. This past weekend, the Rwanda Women Leaders Network held a workshop and a gala in Kigali to reflect on the progress made today, but also look at what more can be done. Let's take a look back at Monday's report. It's not just about sustaining the gains. It's also about exchanging ideas and networking. This past weekend, the Rwanda Women Leaders Network held a workshop and a gala in Kigali with the aim of celebrating what women have accomplished in Rwanda, but also planning an even better future.
Abagore iyo bateye imbere iyo bagize uruhare mu iterambere ry'igihugu ukuntu igihugu cyihuta mu majyambere kabishyira no mu mibare rwose wese ibyo ngibyo se murabyanze ntabyo mushaka barakwereka bati umugore umufashe neza akagira uruhare utera imbere bigenda bitya iyo terambere turaryanze ntiturishaka umugore w'u Rwanda umaze guhabwa agaciro ufite uruhare mu majyambere zifitanye isano na ziriya ngero amahanga asigaye atangaho u Rwanda.
The network is a platform for women leaders and achievers to share experiences and ideas on how to fully exploit their potentials and help young women and girls to realize their dreams.
Intambwe irashimishije ari abagore bari mu buyobozi ngira ngo icyo cyo ntabwo bikiri ibanga kubera ubuyobozi bwiza abagore bari mu nzego zitandukanye zifata ibyemezo dufite umubare mwiza w'abana b'abakobwa bari mu mashuri turabona abakobwa muri ICT bitari bisanzwe kera ariko no kuvuga ngo iyo babonye abagore babikora bari abayobozi baba bazi ko n'izindi no mu bundi buryo bwose bashobora nabo kujyamo bakaba bakora ibikorwa byiza.
This was also a way to celebrate the achievements marked on International Women's Day this past 8th of March and reflect on lessons learned.
Empowering women and supporting women to equal rights and opportunities and pay and all of that. Like I'm the example of what women accomplished and what women are doing in this country, and hoping that we can do better and better, especially for young ladies and young women.
The theme of the workshop, Women as Agents of Change, Recommitting to Achieve National Goals. A great example for young women to emulate.
I expected to meet like more experienced people, and that's what I have seen here, and also to learn a lot from them, because they passed through many things that I'm gonna meet in my journey and also to know how to fulfill my duties to Rwandan youth, because I'm here as someone who is representing the Rwandan youth and especially girls.
Empowerment indeed. VGC Sheja, Rise and Shine Rwanda. And joining us in studio now is Peace Hilary Tumyesigire, Managing Director at Family Magazine. Waramutse Peace. Iyo ubonye ibintu nk'ibyo tuvuye kubona ukabona abantu bishimiye kubona umwari n'umutegarugori mu Rwanda harabaye iterambere, ukabona perezida wa nyakubahwa perezida wa Repubulika ndetse n'umufasha we baza kwifatanya n'abadamu kugira ngo babatize umurindi, bikubwira iki? Wari uhari ejo bundi ndetse n'umunsi ubanziriza?
Jewe ku icyo bimbwira icyambere ko dufite ubuyobozi bwiza, kuko umugore mu Rwanda urebye mu myaka yatambutse nta gaciro yari afite, ntabwo yari afite icyizere cyo kuba yahaguruka akavuga ati reka nanjye ngira akamaro mu gihugu cyanjye. Ntabwo yiyumvagamo ko ashobora gufata icyemezo wenyine, avuga ati reka ninjire muri uru rwego nkoreshe ubushobozi mfite muri jyewe ngira icyo nanjye mfasha ku gihugu. Rero impamvu uvuga ko ari ubuyobozi bwiza nuko aho igihugu kibohorewe abagore bagize uruhare mbere na mbere mu kubohora igihugu, baragaragaje ko nabo bashaka kugira ngo igihugu kigire amahoro, abanyarwanda bari hanze batahe, babigiramo uruhare rugaragara. Ndetse banageze no mu Rwanda basanga hari abandi bagore bamaze guhura na jenoside, bafite ibikomere ku mubiri, bamaze kwiheba, ariko bababwira bati muve mu kwiheba, muhaguruke dukorere igihugu. Uko kubakangurira guhaguruka gukorera igihugu rero nabyo byaturutse muri bwa buyobozi bwiza bwatoje wa mukobwa wa mugore ku rugamba, kugira ngo aze anahagurutse na wa mugore wari umaze guhura n'ibibazo bya jenoside yakorewe abatutsi, wamaze gucika intege, kugira ngo nawe ahaguruke, nawe afatanye n'umunyarwandakazi wundi uvuye hanze bubaka igihugu. Aho rero icyo mvuga rero ni bwa buyobozi bwiza nyine, kuko iyo hataza kubaho politike nziza yo kugaragaza ko n'umugore nawe afite ubushobozi, umugore afite ubwenge, afite gutekereza, afite guhaguruka akagira icyo ageraho.
Cyane cyane noneho ko mu Rwanda ntibikiri ibanga, ku isi hose baragenda bavuga bati u Rwanda rwabaye intangarugero, cyane cyane mu nzego z'ubutegetsi n'iz'ubuyobozi, byaba kubikorera ku giti cyabo, byaba mu bari muri leta. Ese kuki u Rwanda rwageze kuri icyo ngicyo? Kuki hari ibindi bihugu byaciye mu icuraburindi ariko u Rwanda icyo kintu cyabigezeho? Ni izihe mpamvu?
Buriya mu Rwanda dukunda gusamira ibintu hejuru. Mu nama ya Beijing mu 1995 abanyarwandakazi barayitabiriye, mu byavuyemo nabo bagaragaje ko hari ibyo bagiye gukora mu gihugu. Mu ngingo 12 zavuye Beijing zo gukora muri sekiteri zitandukanye mu Rwanda, hari harimo abo nyine bikorera ku giti cyabo, hari harimo kuzamura abagore 30% mu nzego zifatirwamo ibyemezo no mu zindi nzego, mu buzima, mu butabera, mu burezi, inzego nyinshi n'itangazamakuru ririmo. Aho rero niho abagore baje bageze mu Rwanda, noneho bahura na politike nziza babishyira mu bikorwa. Ariho igihugu cyacu ubu ngubu cyaje ku mwanya wa mbere ku gihugu cyubahiriza iterambere ry'umugore, cyubahiriza n'uburinganire. Rero ni kwa gufata ibintu tukabigira ibyacu, kandi noneho abagore tukabigiramo uruhare kugira ngo igihugu kizamuke.
Umwari umugore akenshi bakunze kuvuga yuko ari we nkingi y'urugo, ari we uwangombwa utuma urugo rukora neza, rubaho neza. Ese mwebwe muri Family Magazine ni iki mukora? Ni iyihe message mutanga ituma noneho umunyarwandakazi yewe ndetse n'abagabo bumva yuko bumva agaciro n'umwanya w'umugore mu Rwanda?
Butumwa dutanga ku bagore ni uko kwimenyamo agaciro bafite, kwimenyamo ubushobozi bafite, ndetse tukabaha n'ingero. Ubundi iyo habagaho ko habaho nk'inama, kera abagabo bagaterana bagakora inama bafite icyo bashaka kugeraho, ntabwo bafataga umwanzuro batagiye kubaza abagore. Nubwo abagore babaga bahejwe aho hirya, ariko baragendaga bakababaza se muravuga iki, ngira ngo n'ubu ngubu ubona ko niyo bagiye gutanga umugeni batireka tubanze tubaze ba nyirasenge. Ni ukuvuga ngo rero umugore n'ubundi ijambo rye iyo rije riza rishimangira cyangwa ryubaka cyangwa ryuzuza ibitekerezo bihari, ndetse rikaba ryanakosora cyangwa se rikanongeraho. Icyo rero Family Magazine dukora mu bikorwa byacu bitandukanye, ko dukora ibikorwa bitandukanye, ibiganiro, dukora amafilime, dukora ibiganiro, amahugurwa, kwigisha abantu batandukanye. Icyo dukomeza dukangurira umugore ni ukuvuga ngo tinyuka, ufitemo wowe imbaraga nyinshi cyane muri wowe, ufite guhindura ibintu, tinyuka ikikurimo gisohore kandi noneho wiyemeze. Ubwo nibwo butumwa rero tugenda duha abagore aho duhurira nabo.
Iyo urebye umwanya w'umugore ubu ngubu, cyane cyane ko nk'uko nabivuga mu kanya bisigaye bivugwa mu mahanga cyane ko umugore w'umunyarwanda ari intangarugero ku isi hose, ese nta bwoba waba ufite yuko haba ukuntu yarengwa noneho akibagirwa ko hari iyindi ntambwe noneho nayo dukeneye kugeraho n'izindi zizakurikiraho?
Nta bwoba mfite. Impamvu nta bwoba mfite ni ya politiki nziza nyine, kuko tuvuge wenda nguhe nk'urugero ijambo uburinganire ni ijambo ryakiriwe nabi, ariko kubera ko ubundi nta kinyarwanda cyaryo gihari biba ngombwa kuryuzuza. Ni ukuvuga ngo iyo barireka gutyo, iyo muri politiki y'uburinganire barireka gutyo, ntibaryunganire, ntibanarisobanure, uyu munsi sinzi ko tuba dufite umugore wumva neza agaciro ke. Uyu munsi tuba dufite umugore twakwita ko ari nk'igishegabo, cyangwa se uvuga ati nanjye none nafashe umwanya w'abagabo. Ariko kubera ya politiki nziza habaho gusobanura, habaho gukomeza kwigisha, habaho no guhindura, no kuvuga ngo uyu murongo turimo nituwushamikiraho ibi bindi biratanga iki, kugira ngo dukumire ko habaho kurengwa cyangwa se habeho kumva ngo ibintu uko bitari, noneho bikagenda mu murongo utari warateganijwe.
Peace Hilary tumwisigire, wakoze cyane kwitabira ubutumire bwacu muri iki gitondo, turagushimiye.
Murakoze namwe, umunsi mwiza.
Interesting stuff there. So why don't you just wrap up what she was saying there?
Well, Peace Hilary Tumwisigire, she's talking about basically the gala and also the workshop that was the day before, and she's talking about the leaps and bounds women have been able to accomplish here in Rwanda, and also about what the future looks like. I mean, we shouldn't stop here. We shouldn't just be complacent because, you know, the whole world is clapping for us, saying that this is an example when it comes to women, the place of the woman in society and also women in leadership, but that they should look further. And as you saw,
it's a journey.
Exactly. If like you saw in attendance was our most recent Miss Rwanda and some other young women who want to be empowered and who are empowered by seeing other ladies and women accomplishing great stuff.
Very, very good stuff, Reg. Someone would think that I would be doing that story, but you know, that's not how we are.
That was a really interesting story. The workshop in itself, that was spot on. I mean, they talked about a lot of interesting things. There were women from all over the world.
Insightful stuff. Okay, yeah. Nice. Now, another story that really caught our attention this week was Rwanda's education system. Promoting access to education at all levels, improving and strengthening the relevance of education to meet our labor market demands are some of the goals established by the Ministry of Education in achieving its mission of facilitating the socio-economic development of Rwanda. From high school to university, teachers have had to go through never-seen-before changes to make sure those goals are realized. Let's take a look.
Meet Hinda Routon. He embodies the Rwandan education system, a system that was once French and is now more English.
Nize icyiciro cya mbere n'icya kabiri ariyo primaire na secondaire mu gifaransa, noneho university twiga muri system tuvanga icyongereza n'ikinyarwanda. Sorry, icyongereza n'igifaransa. Leta y'u Rwanda yatekereje ikintu gikomeye cyo twitaga EPLM icyo gihe. Abanyeshuri mbere yo gutangira kwiga kaminuza twamaraga umwaka batwigisha ibyo utize mu ishuri ukarushaho kubisoma, ugatangira gushaka gusoma ibitabo byo muri urwo rurimi rundi.
It's not just about ICT and gender equality. Education is one of the sectors that are key for Vision 2020. And by bringing in international experts, Rwanda is determined to have its own very soon.
Kubera ICT abantu bafite access ku bumenyi bwinshi buvuye ahantu hose cyane cyane nko kuri kaminuza y'u Rwanda cyane cyane aho nigisha muri Côte Santé Publique bafite système yitwa Moodle ashyiramo ibintu byose bamwe bari coding ibyo wigishije ukabirikodinga ukabikamo n'ibitabo bibitse ku buryo umunyeshuri bimworohera gusubiramo yari wenyine bigatuma ubumenyi bwe burushaho kwiyongera.
Obviously, there's more left to accomplish, but what are the most pressing matters right now?
Ikisigaye ni kubera kwigisha bajya bavuga ati nushaka kwigisha ibingana n'urutoki ugomba kumenya ibingana n'ukuboko kwawe. Igikenewe ni ukurushaho kubona uburyo bw'uko abarimu benshi biga icyiciro cya gatatu aricyo doctora cyangwa PhD. Ngira ngo nicyo gisigaye kugira ngo abarimu benshi bagende babyige kandi aho bishoboka babyige hamwe ariko hamwe hagire n'abandi bajya kubyiga muri ibyo bigo bikomeye kugira ngo nabwo ubumenyi bazabugarure mu gihugu, noneho mu gihe gitoya u Rwanda uzagira ubushobozi bwo kwiformera abantu bwo muri icyo cyiciro, noneho icyo gihe tuba tugeze ku ijambo risigaye rigezeho cyane rya sustainability mu kwigisha.
Hinda, like many other young teachers, cannot wait for education to be one of the main reasons Rwanda is mentioned abroad. Regis Isheja, Rise and Shine Rwanda. And joining us in studio now is Hinda Ruton, professor at the University of Rwanda. Waramutse Hinda.
Waramutse Regis.
Icyo nifuzaga nkuko bavuye kubibona muri iriya reportage, icyangombwa ishuri ry'u Rwanda rimaze kugeraho ubu ngubu, système éducatif, icyo bamaze kugeraho ubu ngubu ni ikihe urebye usubije amaso inyuma imyaka 21 tuvuye muri jenoside?
Hari ibintu bibiri bikomeye bamaze kugeraho, navuga icyambere ni hari ni amajyambere yazanywe na ICT. Amajyambere ICT ni ikintu kimaze kuba kiri hose urabona ko cyahereye na one laptop a child muri mashuri abanza ndetse no muri kaminuza, ku buryo cyane nko muri kaminuza aho tugeze turimo turakoresha ICT cyane mu kwigisha. Ibyo biri gufasha ubuke bw'abarimu ntibukigaragara. Icya kabiri, ikindi kibazo cyakunze kubaho kera ni ikibazo cya access to books, access to resources. Iki kibazo ntikigihari. Noneho ubu turimo turagana kuri internet ya 4G, possibilities zirimo zigenda zikuba ku buryo butigeze bubaho. Icya kabiri ni uko u Rwanda noneho rwashize ingufu mu gutraininga abarimu. Hari uburyo bwinshi bwigariza TTC, ariko cyane nko muri kaminuza hari ubufatanye bukomeye Minisiteri y'Uburezi yagiranye n'Abasuwedi, ku buryo abarimu benshi bagenda bakora ama PhD hanze, ariko hari n'ubundi bufatanye bwabaye hagati ya Minisiteri y'Ubuzima ndetse n'ibigo bigera hafi kuri 25, ibigo bikomeye, universities zikomeye twese tuzi, zirimo za Harvard, zirimo za Yale, noneho zikohereza abarimu mu Rwanda bagakora n'abarimu b'Abanyarwanda, noneho bagakora icyo bita peer mentorship. Ugasanga barimo baradesigninga modules zibereye u Rwanda, noneho bakazikora hamwe n'Abanyarwanda. Hagati harimo araba north south peer mentorship. Barimo baraza bariga ibyiza dukora, tukiga ibyiza bakorana, product irimo ikabibereye Abanyarwanda kandi ikaba ari nziza cyane. Ngira ngo nibyo bintu bibiri mbona bikomeye biri kuba iki gihe bitigeze biba mbere ya 1994.
Uri muri barimu ba mbere, ariko wari ukiri n'umunyeshuri, system ihinduka ikava ku Gifaransa ikajya ku Cyongereza. Kuri benshi si ikintu cyari cyoroshye. Ese wowe nk'ubu ngubu iyo urebye aho twavuye n'aho tugeze, icyari kigoranye cyane mu guhindura ya system nuko twashoboye no kwihindura tukaba tugeze ku byo tugezeho ubu ngubu, dushizemo muri make ukuntu byagenze?
Bihinduka nk'uko bivuze koko nari umunyeshuri, bihinduka ndi umunyeshuri, none mfite n'amahirwe kuba ndi kwigisha muri system yahindutse. Ntabwo byari byoroshye. Hari cyambere ko harimo kubyakira, umva ko nk'abarimu bahari imbere kuba warize mu Gifaransa, ukaba urimo no kwigisha no mu Gifaransa, noneho mo hagati bigusaba guhindura. Habayemo ko abantu babyakira, noneho na nyuma icyiza Minisiteri y'Uburezi yakoze nuko yaherekeje abarimu, yaherekeje abanyeshuri, yaherekeje abarimu. habaye amahugurwa menshi yo kumenya kwiga icyongereza ariko uko mbibona ubona birimo biragirwaho noneho hari n'ikindi kubera ko nubwo nakoraga ahandi ariko nanigishaga uko imyaka igenda ubona na proficiency igenda yiyongera ari ku barimu ndetse no ku banyeshuri cyane cyane n'ikindi nakongeraho nuko hari incentives ebyiri hari ibintu bibiri bifasha n'ubundi ibyo navuze mbere icya mbere nuko access to information ukoresheje ICT yatumye abantu bashobora kurushaho kwivugurura ibyo utabona mu ishuri akarushaho kumenya ashobora kumenya
icyo nashaka kukivugaho gender ICT ingabo ibyo ni ibintu bitatu bikunze kugaragara mu bihesha igihugu ishema mu byo bakomeza kuduheraho amanota ese education yo igeze hehe
ngira ngo ni nacyo kintu dukeneye gutangira gushyiramo ingufu ni uko dutangira natwe tugatangira ku benchmarking ibyo dukora mu ruhando mpuzamahanga kubera ko progress yabaye nini cyane dutangira gukora ibyo bizami biri international benchmark education izagaragara intambwe yakoze ikomeye nk'ubu nka hariya ndi kuri École Santé Publique School of Public Health hari program yitwa Masters in Health Informatics mu ruhando mpuzamahanga abanyeshuri bo mu Rwanda muri batanu batanze abstract zemewe mu rwego rw'isi batatu bari abanyarwanda so it mean ibintu byakozwe kubera ko ikintu tutarakora cyane gukora one izo kuzi benchmarking icya kabiri no kwitinyuka tugatangira tukandika articles tukandika abstract
deja kugira umuntu atagikeneye kujya mu mahanga kwiga ushobora kwigira ino ukagira icyo wigezaho
cyane iyo niyo ikintu mbona rwose kibigaragaza nuko abanyeshuri bigiye hano mu Rwanda bigishwa n'abanyarwanda baranditse abstract worldwide ibyo bintu bizabera Luxembourg muri 5 abanyeshuri banditse 3 zari nziza zari z'abanyarwanda bigaragaza ko mu by'ukuri nk'uko bivuga urigira mu Rwanda ukaba wakompetitinga n'abandi bo hanze so uburezi aho bugeze mu giti cyanjye ni trend nikomeza ntago bizaba bikiri ngombwa kugenda ugatakariza igihe cyawe ugiye kwiga
za mudasobwa twaze tuvuga ICT za mudasobwa zifite icyo zahinduye cyane mu myigishirize gira icyo tubwira hano
cyane mudasobwa ikintu cya mbere nuko kera gadusubire kera umwarimu yari nka padiri niwe wari ufite byose noneho ubu ari umunyeshuri afite access kuri information kuruta na mwarimu none change yaje ku mwarimu ni yihe nanjye naniga nicyo umwarimu aza mu ishuri sinatinya kubivuga sano agize ubwoba kubera ko nahura n'umunyeshuri wasomye wagiye kureba umunyeshuri azaba amurusha information nibwo bumenyi so igihari muri iki gihe ni iki nuko umwarimu wasigaye yicara akiga rwose akiga agasoma akihugura noneho yaza mu ishuri urumva ko ibyo atanga umusaruro ibyiza byiyongereye kubera ko ntakiri gukoresha ibyo yakoreshaga kera mbere yo kuza mu ishuri aricara agasoma ibitabo agakoresha nyine ICT akareba ibyo abandi bakora kugira ngo najye imbere y'abanyeshuri abigishirize icyo ni icya mbere icya kabiri ni uko bwa buryo bwo kwicara ukaba nyine nk'ukuntu bavuga nka padiri ukaba uri imbere bita ex cathedra ntibijyashoboka abanyeshuri basomye ubu umwarimu araza agakora ikintu kimeze nka facilitation umunyeshuri hari ibyo azi umwarimu hari ibyo azi bakaganira noneho byarangira noneho akongera agacekinga ese twabigezeho ku buryo rwose uburyo bwo kwigisha no kugira ngo umunyeshuri abimenye hari ikintu gikomeye cyane
amajyambere
hari icyo yabihinduye
indarutongo turagushimira cyane kuba witabiriye ubutumire bwacu muri iki gitondo
murakoze cyane Regis.
So, you know the drill. Can you wrap that up for me?
Yeah, Hinda Routon from the University of Rwanda, their professor, he was talking about the evolution of the education here, the education system after 1994. I mean, he's part of that generation of teachers that studied in French, started teaching in French, then had to change certain things, and everything became English, and then he had to go through that phase. But he's glad he had to go through that because now he can speak and write into fluent languages and teaching them. And then on top of that, he's saying maybe that's going to open up lanes for our teachers to actually go abroad and do their PhDs in English in some of the best universities. So he's very glad.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, nice.
All right,
well,
you're watching the review edition of Rise and Shine Rwanda. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Connect to Lusaka 3 times a week starting 27th March. Enjoy comfort and safety at affordable fares to 17 other destinations across Africa and the Middle East.
Fly our dream to the heart of Africa.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine Rwanda, the review. Now, there were some big business stories in the news this week, from the government dropping duty on animal feeds to an organization facilitating cross-border trading. Let's take a look back at the week in business.
As Rwanda aims to become a developed country by 2020, empowering women is one of the vital strategies that it has taken on to achieve this vision. It is for this reason that the Pro-Femme Twese Hamwe has been focusing on helping women involved in cross-border trade in the East African community as well as the Democratic Republic of Congo borders. Fidelis took a look back at this life-changing project. Take a look.
The gross domestic product of Rwanda expanded by 5.9% in the third quarter of 2014, and one of the factors contributing to this growth is trade. Over $1 million worth of goods is traded every year due to cross-border trading that is mostly done by small-scale traders to get money to survive. So far, 74% of the people who are involved in this trade are women who do it illegally. It is for this reason that Pro-Femme Twese Hamwe, a women's umbrella organization that promotes gender equality, has started various projects to change this behavior.
Hari umushinga duterwamo inkunga na Trademark East Africa, akaba ari umushinga twatangiye mu 2012. Uwo mushinga ukaba ugamije kugira ngo ufashe abagore bakora ubucuruzi bwambukiranya imipaka. Ubucuruzi bwambukiranya imipaka ariko buri informal. Mbese rutari mu buryo buzwi. Icyo gihe tukaba twaravuze tuti tugomba gukora nabo bagore kubavana muri ubwo bucuruzi buri informal tubashyira mu bucuruzi buzwi, ubucuruzi buri mu mategeko, niko nabivuga. Mu mpamvu rero bagiye bagaragaza zatumaga bakora ubwo bucuruzi nuko bari bazi ko ubwo baribeshyaga kuko ntabwo ariko kuri yuko iyo ucuruza utanga umusoro munini cyane. Ubwo rero bakavuga batereka tunye muri za nzira zitazwe kugira ngo two kugira imisoro dutanga. Ariko mu by'ukuri tumaze kubasobanurira neza babonye ko hari ibintu mu by'ukuri batishyurira n'umusoro bituma abagore bagaruka mu nzira izwi. Icyo twakoze rero no kuvuga ko muri iyo project twakoze twegeranije abo bagore noneho tubafasha kugira ngo bajye mu mashyirahamwe bakora amakoperative birumvikana tubageze no kuri RCA kiriya kigo gishinzwe amakoperative kugira ngo bandikwe babone ibyiza byo kuba muri koperative.
Some of the problems that these women have faced in the past while trading illegally include abuse, making losses, and marital conflicts. But for those working with these cooperatives, their profits have come from 50,000 to millions thanks to their partnership with banks and circles. But what does it take to join these cooperatives?
Mu by'ukuri nk'abo bambere nk'abo twabanje gukorana bambere icyo bakoze buno ko batinyutse kuko ni nkaho wenda batekerezaga bati se niba tubona barabona ko tutakoraga neza batugaye ariko ntabwo ari cyo ngicyo abantu bagamije nk'abanyarwanda kuko icyo tugamije kugira ngo twese dufatanye icyo yakora uri ku mupaka wari wose izo koperative zirahari ubwo uwo muntu wese wumva abyifuza rwose amarembo arafunguye.
With Rwanda having joined the East African community, more efforts to maximize on this integration process are still underway, and it is hoped that both Rwandan men and women will get involved in trade as a source of income to improve their living standards. Kango Fidelis, Rise and Shine Rwanda.
And joining us now in studio is Chantal Muhoza, the project coordinator for Women Cross-Border Traders. Welcome, Chantal, to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, so as I said in the report, so these women initially used to trade informally, and now after they join these cooperatives, you help them to start trading formally. So how does this affect their business? I mean, now they have to pay taxes. Don't their clients think, now the prices have gone up, I have to pay more because taxes are included? Doesn't that affect negatively their business?
Well, thank you. Actually, it doesn't, because any kind of formalizing of business may have some advantages or disadvantages. But for these groups of women, mostly it's advantageous for them because if you look at how they used to coordinate the business before, how they used to conduct their business before, and how they are now, we can see some changes. Because it's not only the trade that they were dealing with, but they also had challenges or issues that were affecting them, specifically as women. Also issues regarding gender-based violences, especially because these are women who are using dangerous routes. You had to travel at night to be able to take goods across to other countries. So having grouped them, they've been able to have access to finance from financial institutions. And with that, we've also been able to build their capacities through different trainings. So as for them to be in groups or to formalize, it's been more advantageous and helpful for them regarding cross-border trade.
Mm-hmm. And so what are some of the biggest challenges that you have to face every day while dealing with these women?
Well, like I said, these are women who used to trade most of them in illegal products, using illegal different ways to pass to other countries. So these are women also who are less educated. They're not highly educated. So being able to build their capacities, teaching them about business, bookkeeping, finance, accounting, and all that, you really have to start from the basics. So building their capacities has been difficult, but it's been possible. Also, putting them into cooperative, it means they have to have the skills to manage the cooperatives, to run them, and all that. So these are some of the challenging issues we've had with regards to formalizing these women into the cooperatives. But I think with the time, things are going on smooth, and it's been possible. So the challenges are being overcome so far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So during your conference or workshop that you had about 2 days ago, I noticed that you had women coming from Rubavu, from Rusizi, different areas of the country. But how far do you guys reach? How far does this project reach? And how many people have you been able to help and with this project, basically?
Well, under the project that we're working from Profam to Samwe, for now we've been able to work with more than 400 women to put them or to sensitize them into joining cooperatives. That's in 5 borders of the country in Bugesera, Burera, Chanika, Nyagatare, and Kajitumba. But now we plan to expand to go to other areas, especially with DRC, with the Democratic Republic of Congo. Because with the recent activity that we had was setting up forums. We want to set a platform where these women can voice out their issues, because they still have issues. Under this project, we don't only build their capacities, but we also aim to do advocacy for the issues that they're still facing at different levels, be it at the country level, at national level, or at regional level within the East African community, for example. So this activity put together all 26 cooperatives in the whole country, and they were able to put up forums at provincial levels and national levels as a way to continue advocacy for the issues that they're still facing.
So now I know you're working with men and women as well. There's also, there's women and men as well in this cooperative, although the women are more. But you've told me you work so far with the DRC border and of course the East African community. But are there plans to expand to even other countries and other borders that you're not working with at the moment?
Well, for now we plan to work with all the women that are trading, Rwandan women that are trading, across to different countries, but that's within East Africa and maybe Sepegel areas. That's with Congo as well. So we plan to see all the Rwandan women who, especially those the border communities, those people who are based at the borders, and build their capacity. So that's our area where we plan to expand, not to other countries, but mainly within East Africa, because it's also linked with the benefits that Rwanda gets for being within the East African region and Sepegel. So their commitments and their benefits that Rwanda gets. So we want to make sure that these women mostly know about these benefits and they can utilize them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Speaking of benefits, one can hear and they say it's definitely a good project, but they want to know realistically what are some of these benefits that you guys have been able to reach. What has the impacts been, and also economically to the country's economy? What has improved due to this project?
Well, it's been 2 years now since we started on this project. It might be difficult to talk about impact at this level, but obviously there's been some success about this project. The fact that these women already willingly started these cooperatives and they've been able to secure loans from financial institutions. Out of the 9 cooperatives that we initiated, 6 of them have received loans from financial institutions. This is we're talking about, because they're small-scale traders, we're talking about 5 million per cooperatives. And some or most of them have already finished those loans and they are looking to even apply for bigger loans like 20 million and all that. So with that, we see that these women have gained the capacity or the knowledge to trade, to do business. And also they've been able to have the courage to work with financial institutions. So this is something we see as a success for this project.
So definitely this project has been very, very successful. But are there other projects that you're working on, future plans? What should we expect? What should we look forward to that maybe even other people watching the show would want to get involved in and be part of?
Well, besides expanding to continue working with other cooperatives, because we've realized that after we started these cooperatives, there are others that have started forming themselves where we started. So we get many people calling us and asking us to help them as regards training them or giving them information. They just form themselves and they said, we had Profam working with women, so they do that. The fact that they do that, this is something we want to, that gives us the idea that women out there who've been doing cross-border trading, they need this kind of support and help. So we want to expand our work, and then besides that, we also want to continue partnering with other organizations or the government institutions to see that we can together talk about sustainable solutions for these women, regards maybe linking them up with the markets, for them having able to benefit from infrastructures that are being put in place like markets and maybe roads and all that, so that their businesses can improve. So we plan to expand, to continue advocacy, to see that all the commitments from the government within the East Africa have been put in place and implemented. So this will go on, and we hope it will be successful as well.
So basically what you're saying is very soon, obviously these women initially used to be small scale. Now are they trading to a level where we can say they can even compete with other traders that are not in Rwanda, that are in the East African region? Would you say they're at that level right now?
Well, not yet, but we see ourselves heading there. We see them heading there because actually that is the final outcome we'd love. We want to see that these women become very competitive within the East African or even beyond. So we see that it's heading there, but we can't say we're yet there. That's why we need to continue work on this and hope that we can see this become successful in the end.
Thank you very much, Chantal, for coming to the show.
Always a beautiful thing to see people banding together to get stuff done.
Absolutely.
Well, you're watching Rise and Shine's weekly review show. Let's take a look back at the week that was in sports with Arnold Quizera.
We had one of Rwanda's first ever sports analysts, who's also a sports journalist at Voice of America, Romario Abdul-Jabbar, and our very own Arnold Quizera delve into the issues facing football in Rwanda and around the world. Arnold started by asking him about the consequences APR officials faced after a scuffle they had with a referee.
Up to now, it is a kind of a dilemma situation because I think last year it happened to Rayon Sport. The same kind of situation happened to Rayon Sport, and within a short period of time, the commission who was at the game gave the report. Now it's over 2 weeks. People are wondering what's going on. It's almost the same kind of situation that is going on. That's why people are asking a lot of questions about FERAFA. Is it APR that is...
that's running FERAFA?
That is running FERAFA.
Yeah.
Actually, what's going on? They don't really understand. So it's the time that FERAFA has to show exactly how they are going to,
how do they handle
such kind of matters. With the fact that the Rayon Sport faced the same kind of problems some time back, some of their players and officials were punished heavily. For example, their best player, he was given 6 months out, and this actually led to the collapse of the team in the performance in the league itself.
So you're saying the likes of Olivier Kwizera, who were involved in those clashes, the coach himself, Vincent Mashami, who was involved in those clashes, you believe they should get a similar penalty to what Rayon Sports players and officials were given last year? Though I wasn't at the ground, I didn't watch, the scene exactly. But I believe, according to the photos I watched on, I saw on WhatsApp and everything, you could see that some of the players, APR players, were trying to fight against these officials, police officers. So I think that itself shows that there was something wrong between APR players and the coaching staff and the officers. Why should a player reach that extent? And unfortunately, we even had some of our leading newspapers in the country not covering that story. Again, it shows you what the influence APR has in football in Rwanda. But moving on swiftly to the Rayon Sports situation, they got a new coach. I think it's the old situation, putting old wine in 2 new bottles. No. Kairanga is back for the third time. Yeah. Is he the right man for this Rayon Sports job? Given the remaining time, there are only 5 games to come to the end of the league. I don't think he's the right man to lead the Rayon Sport to success, because Sostin has been with the team for quite a long time, and actually recently has been doing well despite the problems that are going on. Why isn't he ever given a chance? Because it looks like every time he's given the handoff role, the team performs well, then they bring in a coach and everything goes astray. And this is what I was coming to. It shows that there is no belief of the officials, the committee, the committee or the team. They don't have belief in him, yet he has tried to do the best. And we have to remember that he was acting alone. He doesn't have an assistant coach. He's acting alone. So all that kind of weight is on him. He's doing everything. He doesn't have anybody to help him. We also have to consider the problems that have been going on in the team. The issues of paying, issues with different coaches, all these things have actually hampered the success of the team. And we also have to consider that they lost most of their big players going to the rival APR, like Jamari Miseneza. It's something that has never happened before. So all these things that happened in the Rayon Sport, they have actually hampered. So you feel Rayon Sports problems are bigger than just the coach? It's an administrative problem? It is, first of all, an administrative problem. Because even if you have good players, even if they are very good players performing well, but at the same time they are having issues administratively, then there can't be any success. For example, let me give an example. This year, they had about 4 coaches. They had Lucito, they had Likemel, they had this Congolese man Mfutila, they had Sostin, and now Batista, in one period of time. In one calendar year? One calendar year. That is impossible. Because every coach will come with his own philosophy, which he has to introduce. So the players do not stick with one coach. That is why their performance has actually gone down. Okay. Now, still again with Rayon Sports, they are playing Zamalek over this weekend. What are their chances, in a few words? What are Rayon Sports' chances against Zamalek, according to you? Do you think they can overturn that 2-goal deficit? It won't be easy. And I think they will be under pressure. They will be under pressure because, as we know, Zamalek is one of the biggest clubs in Africa with a lot of big history. And the Rayon Sport has to score 2 goals. 2 goals. It won't be easy because Zamalek with their striking force. And another thing, we have to also remember that the Rayon Sport has a leaky defense. Yeah, true. So this kind of defensive issues with the Rayon Sport may also be an issue when they're playing against Zamalek. They have to score 2 goals
which won't be easy against a team like Zamalek. And because with these Arabs, when they come, they try to play kind of a defensive kind of game. But when they realize that there's some ways of sneaking into their defense, it won't be easy for Rayon Sport.
Okay, last question. My producer's going to kill me with this one. But John McKinstry, his first match, he lost it.
Yeah.
Did you agree with the team he went with to Zambia?
I was a little bit surprised because he left some of good players like this boy Sugira. Yeah. He's among the best strikers in the league at the moment. He has 8 goals.
The Gichumbe forward?
No, with the IS Kigali.
Yes.
He was left, and he's among the top scorers in the league. Another thing is the way the team is selected it's a little bit weird because you leave out players from Gichumbi. They don't have even a single player. Gichumbi has beaten all these big teams. They have beaten APR, they have beaten IS Kigali, they have beaten all these big teams with the big defenders. Now you wonder why they don't have even a single player in the team.
The national team.
I'm sorry. It's a.
I'm sorry. I would have loved to continue that conversation. Unfortunately, thank you, Romario, again for coming to Rise and Shine. Hope we'll see you very soon.
You know, this APR situation is such a big deal that we actually talked about it in Hot Topics yesterday.
Absolutely. It's, shaking the place.
I'm telling you, man.
Right.
That was renowned sports journalist Romero Abdujabal speaking there to Rise and Shine Rwanda's Arnold Quizera earlier this week.
All right. We'll be right back after the break with a look at this week's lifestyle story.
Connect to Lusaka 3 times a week starting 27th March. Enjoy comfort and safety at affordable fares to 17 other destinations across Africa and the Middle East.
Fly our dream to the heart of Africa.
This past weekend saw a festival that encompassed everything traditionally Rwandan, and at a time when young people, diaspora and tourists alike are craving more information about our rich culture, it couldn't have come at a better time. Take a look. The Rwanda Traditional Evening, or Igitaramo, took place at Uburanga Art Studios in Kimihurura and covered everything a festival should. From music to poetry, proverbs to cooking and dance lessons. It was a night of pure Rwandan bliss.
It's about showing people about the traditional evening, how it used to be, and how the culture was before we born. We used to read this in books. We used to see that in documentary. Now we need to practice this and show the people from here, the young generation, and the visitors of the country, to show them how it used to be.
This is a program which we decide as like a 3-person, like an artist, 2 artists, and another young lady, and we come up with this idea for showing like the people, especially like foreigners, the way our grandparents they used to meet, gathering together, and sharing the ideas, and of course having funny, and that's the way also they used to meet, like say like a traditional evening. That's the way they used to meet. Like. So here we want to show exactly some images, not like all of the image, the way they used to gather together.
With such a great idea, it's hard to imagine why there aren't more events like this throughout the year.
Actually, we used to do this every Friday of the month, but because of the income, it's not easy to do everything. But we are trying to make people understand about this, then we can get something to spend in this one, in this kind of events.
Our young generation, they need to know the way they used to gather together, our grandparents. So that's how I become this idea, and even to inspire our young generation, even though they're tourists, so that they can feel they really enjoy more Rwanda. They can see they can just enjoy from before how they can see how our young just we think about our culture, how we express our culture.
By the looks of it, people are really starting to enjoy themselves. Let's go chat to some patrons, shall we?
Yeah, I think it's great for the Rwandese people first, and also for us who are coming from an outside country to get together, to get to know the culture, to discover the music, the dancing, and it's a great occasion for all of us to get together.
We're both new to Kigali, so we both wanted to come and see the traditional Rwandan dance and hear a little bit more about the culture since we're going to be living here for the next couple of months. So we thought it was really great. It was really fun to get to learn from the guys how to dance, though I'm not sure how well it went. But
the dancing was the really fun part. And I haven't seen the traditional dance before, so it was really exciting. Yeah. And the food is really awesome. I like the bruschetta and the potatoes.
Actually, I'm an artist also, so I would like to support my artist friends. This is a good event in Rwanda about culture, traditional culture.
I think we could all agree there's nothing like a hands-on, full-out fun learning experience in such an exciting setting. And what better to celebrate than our own often underrated culture? Here's to more of this type of event in the future. Makeda Mahadio, Rise and Shine Rwanda.
You get all the fun stuff. It's not even fair anymore.
Really?
That's cool. I almost broke into my inhaler
Yeah, I
here.
know.
Yeah, watch out,
I
watch
know
out.
you had to restrain yourself.
Right. So tell me, how come I didn't know about this? I mean, how do people get to know about these events and attend?
Okay, this particular event, they sent out a few flyers and stuff, and I think they just told their network. But I agree, it could have been a little bit more publicized because I think a lot more people would have wanted to go. But there was a good crowd there, and there were a lot of people, a lot of tourists especially, who wanted to learn more about the culture, wanted to learn about the dance. And they were actually offering, it was at an art studio, as you saw, Uburanga. And so they were offering, their art and things like that, but also dance lessons, as you can see there, cooking lessons as well. And poetry. There was some musicians there doing some music. I mean, it was really, really cool, really informative. And there was even an MC there. He was talking through the things that were happening, what some of the stuff meant. It was very good. And I was just thinking to myself that this should be happening all the time because even me, I'm Rwandese, but I don't know like everything, you know. I don't know all of the different aspects of the culture. He was saying that sometimes they'll have different nights and they'll have like themes, right? So I think the last one, the theme was Inanga, and so it's very, very cool. It's a very cool initiative, and I'm looking out for them to do some more.
Now, from what we saw in the report, you got to talk to a lot of young men that were there, young men and women. But the thing is, to see the youth embracing their history like that, that's got to be a cool thing.
Yeah, it was really cool. And when I asked him, you know, like why did you decide to come up with this night, one of the artists, he was saying that, you know, basically he wants everyone to know about how the culture used to be before, you know more about the history and have an image, like an actual physical image of how the meetings used to be back in the day. They would have the bonfire there, what they would do, what they would talk about. And he just wants to educate people and help people have fun at the same time, you know? And I think it's great. People should know more about Rwandan history than the genocide.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it was a good time.
Did you bust a move there? Did you?
This time around I didn't.
Okay.
I did not. I was too busy filming I was on duty. But I did have the urge. I really did want to start dancing at one point because it looked great and the dancers were amazing. I mean, so good.
Now, how about their next representations and going forth? I mean, are they planning something next? What's going to happen?
Yeah, so they want to do more of these events. I think they want to do it monthly. So what he needs is support, basically. You know, they had some baskets there. If they were saying, you know, if you like the event, help us out, you know what I mean? Because it's a free event, you know? So they're not really generating a lot of income from it. So if they can get that help, I think that it would definitely help the event. But they do want to start doing it on a monthly basis and stuff like that. So it's just now to watch out for them and see what's to come.
The tourists that you get to talk to, are they, because there's some of them that were saying they're here for a couple of months. Do they want to stay even more now after seeing that?
I don't know. I didn't ask them that, but they were definitely saying, especially the first lady who was visiting and the two girls, they were saying that they're looking forward to seeing more events like that while they're here so that they can, you know, soak in as much as they possibly can. And it was a good time.
I'm going to start riding shotgun with you. I'll be going wherever you're going.
Come on.
You got all the cool stuff.
You are very welcome.
All right.
Little deja vu there. Well, don't forget, we love to hear your thoughts, comments, and feedback on what we're talking about here on Rise and Shine Rwanda. Tweet us at Rise and Shine RW. Like us on Facebook and send us any ideas for programs. Check out our Rise and Shine Rwanda YouTube page where you can catch all the shows and reports that we upload daily. Find us on Instagram, Rise and Shine RW. We'd love to see your photos. Or check out our Rise and Shine Rwanda website.
Well, that's all the time we have for today, but do let us know if you have an idea for the program. You've been watching Rise and Shine Rwanda with me, Regis Isheja.
And me, Makeda Mahadio. We'll be back here same time, same place on Monday, so please do join us then. But for now, from the both of us and the rest of the Rise and Shine team, have a great day and a better weekend.
Great weekend.
Bye.
Bye-bye.